Next up is going to be this goodness. Who don't like shiny billet parts? What's up, guys? It is JD from Let It Rip Side by Side and Adventure. You can see the Pro R here behind me. We are doing another quick install video. We are actually installing these whip lights right here because I actually broke these that are currently on the Pro R. Snapped it there, did not open the garage door like I was supposed to. So Let It Rip Side by Side actually reached out to a company called LOYO Lights, LOYO Lights. They actually have a new whip line coming to market. They asked if I wanted to test it, try it, see what it was all about. So we're going to do a quick install video. Let me show you what we got. As of right now, it's a pretty simple wire harness. Pretty much there's your box that gets mounted under your dash. You've got to run your wire harness down your center console, and then we've got negative, positive. These are for your signal lights. So what's very nice, these right here can be used as signal lights or indicators. So the yellow is turn, I believe green is turn, and then your white is brake light. So we're just going to tape those off. Eventually the Pro R will be street legal, but today is not the day. So let's get things tore apart, let's get this wire harness run, and let's get these things installed. Alright guys, so we're moving right along. This is where we're currently at. We do have the firewall is out of here, we did pull the dash out of here. We have all your wiring and stuff is complete. Everybody knows that on these Pro XPs, they give you actually a good accessory bar here. You buy some accessory plugs. We got everything wired. Now we're running it down through here. We do have it in a loom. The loom pops out right here. And then we actually just wanted to test it to see if it works. And it works. So these things have all kinds of different modes, as you guys can see here. Everything from solid light to strobing to rainbow, you name it. So we are going to finish running these wires, throw some zip ties on here, and we'll pick you up when they're installed. Okay, it's a couple days later. Now we left off, we had installed the YOLO lights, which I will actually throw up a coupon discount code right here. If you go to the link in our description, you can actually save yourself quite a bit of money, 10% on any one of these rock lights. They've got accent lights for Jeeps, they've got the whips, they've got all kinds of stuff. These stubbies will eventually be on their website as well, but we're not to that point. So this is what we ended up doing. We did route everything. Everything is all zip tied up nice and neat. Lights are installed. We will show you some footage of those things. Affordable. Everybody knows you get into like 5150 or some of those high-end light bars and light whips and rock lights, they do get pretty expensive. Not knocking any of that, they really all do make some really good quality, but the thing is, I'm kind of a baller on a poor man's budget, so that's kind of, you know, they reached out, we reached out, everything worked out great. I think they're absolutely awesome lights, but we have other stuff to talk about right here. We reached out again to Bikeman Performance. Now I had the opportunity to run some Bikeman Performance in West Virginia, and I was blown away as far as the performance. Now I know that sounds crazy. Oh, you're just pushing it because they sponsored. No, which I do appreciate the support from those guys, but I didn't want to come on here and say, hey, this stuff is awesome. I've seen it in use on other people's machines. I've heard how the product sounds. I've seen how it operates, but until I got some personal time on my own rig with that product, very happy. So, for example, Turkey Bay, we took the clutch that was not tuned. It did not have the tune, did not have the exhaust. As far as the clutching side of things, constantly smoke on my belt. To the point where I actually had to replace my belt before I went to West Virginia. Now that new belt didn't get a break-in period, didn't get nothing, got thrown on this machine. We threw those sniper weights in there, got them set up. Once again, shout out to Nick down at Lang's. If you ever need any power sport needs, go see him, or even tuning on the Bikeman stuff. He is actually a dealer of the Bikeman Performance parts. We got weights set up, did the springs, put the brand new belt on there, got it tuned, put the exhaust. I only slipped the belt one time in West Virginia, and that was my own doing. Got myself caught up in a spot that I shouldn't have been. Needed to be in low versus high. Smoked the belt. Other than that, I ran stuff in high that I probably shouldn't have ran in high, and it never missed a beat. Now, we ran through the tunnel, the Dingus Tunnel, with that slip-on exhaust from Bikeman. Throw that in with the tune, which is claimed to be 270 at the crank with that exhaust. It barked. I'll throw that clip up right now. So with that being said, we reached back out to those guys and wanted to move on to the next step of what we were looking to install on the rig. So first we have right here their billet clutch cover. They do have a steel sleeve inside here, which is great because I have actually used Dynojet's version of this, but they had a nylon sleeve in here. That sleeve would eventually get wore out, and your clutch cover would do this on your primary as your clutch was opening and closing. Very high quality, love it. They say 30 to 40 degree belt temp change as far as lowering the belt temp, because I can feel on the Pro R over time the belt starts to fade. So super excited about putting that on there. Next, we have, now remember guys, I currently have the tune on here. Let me grab a tool. I currently have the tune on here, which is 270 horse. I am running their slip-on exhaust. I do have their sniper weight clutch spring set up on here, so the clutch is tuned. I'm hitting my RPMs that I want, 81 to 8400, and it's a very linear power with the clutch kit and stuff set up on there. I was like, oh, it's underpowered, it's not as fast. Thing is, it's a lot smoother as far as that's concerned. So what else we got? Okay, super excited about this. That is going to be the fascia plate. We'll pull that out in a second. That goes on the back of the machine. Since I've installed the exhaust, it does leave it kind of open there, and then you've got your intake tubes as well. Now, they are competitive with the rest of the industry, and I know there's other companies out there that produce products like this, but once again, I wanted to make sure that I stuck with the same product on the machine as far as performance side of things. Now, having the 2020, the 21, and 2022, we have tried mishmashing miscellaneous companies. Not that any of the companies were bad, but when it comes to technical support, whether it be adjusting your clutches or getting the tune right or making sure you're getting optimal performance out of your rig, when you start mismatching everything, you don't have the customer support or the technical support behind it, because most manufacturers, their products work well together. So that's why I went back to Bikeman. Shout out to Sean and all those guys down there. And just to let you know, I also have a code for Bikeman. If you guys are looking to get into some of these performance parts, which for me, the next step is a cam. So we'd have the tune, we have the intake. At this point, it's a cam, so the horse torques start getting serious. But if you head over to Bikeman on any order, put in letter RIP, saves you 10% on your order. Now at this point, I'm not making any cash. That's not what this is about. This is me running, testing new products, and hopefully save you guys some money. So we are going to get these intake tubes installed, get that fascia plate done, mess with that clutch cover on the clutch, and then we're going to go out and take a couple rips and see if it makes a big difference. All right, so here's intake tube. Let's check it. Let's compare this to the other one. You know, you can see the difference between this one and this one. This one has just got a lot more volume, where we can obviously, I mean, look at the elbows themselves. You can considerably see the difference here. So I'm excited, especially when we get to the point of putting cams in this, to know that I can get enough air and fuel mix down to this thing like it's supposed to. However, I did run into a bummer. Take into consideration, if you do have a particle separator, we've got this right here. The tube that they send you incorporates that it goes from your air box, hooks around, hooks back to your OEM air filter assembly, but that indeed is not the case. So every one of my rigs I've had a particle separator, just because I want to prolong the life of these engines, especially with some of the dust and everything that they ingest. I actually had issues with debris getting past the paper filter on the Pro R So I actually installed the particle separator and got myself a pre-filter for that as well. Now, that was installed before we left for Moab, so it's been to multiple different states, a bunch of trail riding and stuff. So I'm curious, I'm gonna pop that open to see how well that combination of the pre-filter and that particle separator, how well it really does. Now this is all summer. This has not been checked. Is that the right way to do it? No, but I kind of did an experiment, hopefully it doesn't bite me in the ass, on how the filter system. We had a little bit that fell out of the bottom. You can see it stacked up right there. But I'm looking at that pre-filter and I'm looking at that filter and that thing looks clean. So I'm gonna pull it off there to double inspect it, or to inspect it again, because since I'm in here, I might as well check it out. I think it still looks brand new under that pre-filter. Take your guesses, comment in the comment section. We'll give it a second. You can see that the paper is a little discolored. The inside though is crisp and white. Now I didn't tap this out or anything. And there is very little. That is from all summer's ride. From Utah to Kentucky to Badlands to Syracuse track, all sunset pre-filter and that particle separator has been installed in this machine. So that is the main reason. If I can keep the amount of dirt that I know has gone through this system out of my engine and out of my air filter to get peak performance, I'm all about it. Are they pricey? They sure are, but I'll put the link for SP particle separator in my description if you are interested. So we're gonna reinstall this air filter, get it cleaned up the rest of the way, and put that intake tube on. And that's going to be just about it for this install. Oh yeah, we do have the clutch cover, so we'll get after that next. Intake tube, got intake tube installed. Next is this goodness. Who don't like shiny billet parts? As you can see, Bikeman Performance right there. Machine billet, absolutely awesome. Steel bushing, should hopefully help keep this belt a little colder, a little cooler. Sheets of the clutch, everything looks good. A little bit of water got in there from West Virginia. Now it does have, like I said, the sniper weight set up, and it does have the clutch spring. Everything has been working great. Brand new belt, held up very well. Running this thing in high when I shunt up, very satisfied. Once again, Bikeman Performance. Check out the link, 10% in any order. Let's get this installed. All right, she is in there. You know, that's the old, that's the new. Obviously being billet aluminum and having the structure in between the pillars here and here, that's definitely going to help, hopefully quite a bit, help keep that belt temperature down a little bit as far as that's concerned. Let's go around to the other side and fire this thing up, make sure the clutch don't come flinging apart. Opening up the garage here, got the intake tube. Bummed that I couldn't use that one. We'll address it at a later date if we do eventually get a cam on this main machine. Can't really mess anything up as far as installing those. It's 3 clamps, put your new ones on. It is a little different of a fit because of the volume difference, the size difference, and then it is just you know, it's poured, so you gotta manipulate it to get it in there. Kind of important. Don't mess that one up due to the fact that is your intake. You're gonna be sending stuff in places you don't want to if you don't get it sealed properly, so take your time. Let's start this thing up. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. There is the Pro R. It is a couple days later and we are officially done. Weather here in Wisconsin's been a bear. Rainy, nasty, ugly. It is that time of year. It is fall. With that being said, we did have the opportunity to get the LOYO lights installed on this machine. I had no idea there was like a couple hundred different settings and different features and all kinds of stuff. Very impressed with those lights. I broke the other ones. These guys reached out to us. We said, sure, we'd love to run it. If you'd like to get yourself into some of these, head over to LOYO Lights. The link will be in the description. You put in Let Her Rip, saves you guys 10% on your next order as far as accent lights, rock lights, Jeep lights, you name it. They do have quite the selection, so very impressed with those guys. They've been great to work with, so hopefully it's great for you guys as well. Once again, Let Her Rip, saves you 10%. Now, we did get the opportunity to go out and do a couple full pulls on all the new mods we do have as far as the Bikeman Performance side of things. Also, link will be in the description for those guys. If you want to head over, you can save yourself 10% on that stuff as well, using that same discount code, Let Her Rip. Now, what do we have? Let's summarize. We've got the intake. We do also have the clutch kit with the sniper weights, their spring setup and their weight setup. What I like about that is the adjustability. You can actually put barrel weights in the heel of those weights to really get them dialed in. I thought my machine at first was slower. No, it is just that fast from start to finish. You look down mashing on that skinny pedal, between the tune, the exhaust, the clutch kit, the intake, you're doing 0 to 70 no time. Very, very happy, very satisfied with that. And then last but not least, don't forget Nick down at Langs Equipment. He is the one that's got us into this Pro R. The Scrambler's sitting over there. He actually got us into OG, the 2020 XP Turbo. So if you guys need any power sport needs as far as rides, equipment, service items and stuff like that, go see Nick down at Langs. And then we also have GLifeUTV. Don't want to forget those guys. If you want to accessorize your machine as far as racing suspension, seats, harnesses, all kinds of different accessories, shifters, mirrors, lighting, tires, you name it, those guys have got it down at GLifeUTV. Now, the link will be in the description for those guys. You hit that link, put in Let Her Rip 5, saves you guys 5% with those guys. So I'm just trying to highlight the fact of how many people it really takes to make a YouTube channel successful behind closed doors. And we are far from that, but we are continuing to work our way through companies that we want to not only represent, but we want to represent Let Her Rip side by side, and hopefully in the process save you guys some money. So with that being said, the sponsors are only part of what makes this channel go round. The main supporter of Let Her Rip side by side is you guys. So it is free if you want. Smash that subscribe, really helps the channels out, gives us the opportunity to continue to grow, to provide content for you guys, whether that's riding reviews, machine reviews, products we're using, places to go. It's ultimately what we're trying to do for long term. So I appreciate each and every one of you. If you want, smash subscribe, hit that thumbs up, hit that notification bell if you want to see content when we post. And like we always say, on to the next adventure.